I grew up in a tough neighborhood on the south side of Chicago back in the 70s when the city was all grit and grind. My old man was a steel worker at the mills, the kind of guy who believed a real man didn't show weakness. He drilled that into me. John, life's a battle. You gotta fight, not cry. So that's how I raised my own kid, Jake. My name is John Harlan. I'm 68 now, retired from the auto plant in Gary, Indiana, where I spent 40 years welding frames and coming home smelling like metal and oil. These days, I live alone in the same little bungalow in Inglewood that Mary and I bought back in '85. The house feels too quiet, too big, but I guess that's what happens when you push away the people who mattered most. I don't tell this story to get pity. I tell it because maybe, just maybe, someone listening won't make the same mistake I did. No coddling, no excuses. That was my rule. I worked double shifts to keep the lights on and the fridge full. Mary, my wife, she was the soft one. She'd bake cookies, read bedtime stories, try to balance out my hardness. But I was the enforcer. Tough love builds character, I'd always say. Jake was a good kid from the start, always trying to please me. Little League baseball in the park off 63rd Street, straight A's at Inglewood High. He hustled. After dinner, we'd toss a football in the backyard. I'd bark, "Throw it harder, son, don't be soft." He never complained, just nodded and threw again. By his teens, he looked like a younger version of me. Tall, messy brown hair, blue eyes. But around 16, things shifted. He got quieter, spent hours in his room sketching comics or blasting indie bands on that beat-up Walkman. I thought it was normal teenage crap. Hormones, rebellion. Snap out of it, I'd snap. Real men don't mope around. Then came that rainy Friday night in October 2005. I'd just finished a brutal 12-hour shift. Walked in, the house smelling like Mary's pot roast. Jake was at the kitchen table, twisting a napkin like it owed him money. Mary shot me that look. Be gentle. I cracked open a beer, sat down heavy. "What's up, kid? Spill it." He swallowed, eyes glued to the floor. "Dad, I need to tell you something. I'm gay." It hit like a sledgehammer. Gay? My son? In my house? My brain flashed to the locker room talk at the plant, the crude jokes, the slurs. "What the hell are you talking about?" I exploded. "This some phase? Too much MTV garbage?" "No, Dad, it's who I am. I've known for years. I just wanted you to know the truth." I shot up, chairs scraping loud on the linoleum. "Bullshit. I didn't raise you like that. You're confused. Fix your head, or don't come crying when life kicks you down." My voice filled the whole kitchen. Mary tried. "John, please." But I stormed to the garage and slammed the door. Sat in the dark, surrounded by hanging tools, fuming. How could this happen? What would the guys say? The neighbors? That night, Jake packed a bag and left. Slipped out quiet while I drowned my anger in another beer. Mary found his note. "Mom, Dad, I love you, but I can't stay where I'm not accepted. I'll call when I can." She cried for days. I told myself, he'll come crawling back when he grows up. Years passed in a haze. Jake moved to Wrigleyville downtown, landed a graphic design job. He'd call Mary on holidays, send postcards from Lake Michigan getaways or Pride in New York. She'd plead with me. "He's your son, John. Just talk to him." My pride was ironclad, thicker than the Willis Tower. "He made his bed," I'd mutter. But inside, I missed him bad. Missed our Cubs games at Wrigley, yelling at bad calls together. Missed his sketches taped to the fridge. Then one cold fall morning in 2012, the phone rang at 6 a.m. Northwestern Memorial Hospital. "Mr. Harlan, your son Jacob is in ICU. Overdose. Pills. Come now." Everything blurred. Mary and I flew up I-90, horns and lights a mess outside the window. Hospital smell hit hard. Antiseptic. Death. Jake lay there, pale, hooked to machines, beeps echoing. Doctor said, stable for now, but it was touch and go. He left a note, felt alone. I took his cold hand, first time in years. Jake, son, Dad's here. He never opened his eyes. An hour later, the machines flatlined. Just stopped. My boy was gone, 24 years old. Later, in his tiny Lincoln Park studio, superhero posters, half-done sketches, we went through his things. In his wallet, that old photo from a Sox game when he was 10. Us, arms around each other, grinning under the lights. On the back, his handwriting. Dad, I just wanted you to say you're proud, if only once. Love, Jake. I collapsed on his bed, sobbing like a broken man. Mary held me, but the hole was too big. If only I'd listened, I choked out. If only I'd said I love you, no matter what. Regret ate me alive, worse than any layoff, any hangover. I replayed that kitchen fight endlessly. What if I'd hugged him, said, son, it's okay, we'll figure this out together. But my ego won, my stupid, stubborn ego. These days I volunteer at a youth center in Pilsen. I sit with kids who remind me of Jake, scared, hurting, hiding who they are. I tell them this story, voice cracking every time. Don't wait, love loud, love now. Don't let pride steal your family. Mary's gone too, cancer last year. The house is empty, but that photo stays on my nightstand. Every morning I look at it and whisper, I'm proud of you, Jake. God, if only you'd heard me say it. Chicago keeps moving. L trains rumbling, wind howling off the lake. But I'm still stuck in that rainy October night. If only I hadn't pushed him away. Wish I hadn't pushed him away. I hadn't.